Welcome back to Upfront. Public health officials are imploring people to wear face masks to help curb the spread of coronavirus. Well, now the city of Milwaukee might require people to wear masks when they're in public. So we're talking more about this now with Milwaukee Alder Marina Dmitrievich. So we appreciate your time. I know you're really busy, and I was reading that this model that you're interested in goes based off of something they have in California where they ask even people who are outside to wear masks. So tell us about your idea.
Our idea, called Milwaukee Cares, is about protecting the ones that we love and care about. We know that face covering and face masks can help stop and reduce the spread of COVID-19. Certainly indoors, it should be required. And we're seeing now, as there's more outdoor activity, that if you're not able to properly socially distance, that you should consider using a face mask or covering outside. Look at the county zoo, the beaches. When there's a stagnant group, large group of people outside, it's certainly somewhere we want to consider having face coverings.
So does that include something like if I'm in the city of Milwaukee and I'm going out for a run, would this say I should be wearing a face mask?
We're less worried about the solo people that are out walking a dog or running or bicycling, but I would encourage you that whenever you're leaving your house to have your face mask handy in your pocket around your hand, because you never know when someone may cross within those 6 feet or something happens. Anything could happen when you're outside of your house. So why not have it with you in order to protect and save lives?
And this is going to the council this upcoming week. What type of support do you think you have?
Great support. Remember, hundreds of Milwaukee businesses, large and small, requested this type of policy so they can continue to request that and open up the economy. If we want to reopen up the economy, we need to do it safely. People don't want to be shut down again. And this is a safe route to make sure that that doesn't happen. There's a petition online that's nearly 10,000 people, and we've received hundreds of public comments, most in favor and many that have questions, but we're going to do this together as a community.
There are a few questions when it comes to this. What about enforcement?
Yes, as with any time we have an ordinance, enforcement is an important part of that. We are looking to spend the most amount of time and resources on compliance. That's why it's called Milwaukee Cares. We should be caring about one another. And quite frankly, if we don't have compliance, we're going to spend more time and resources taking care of people and occupying more hospital beds. So the larger the risk, the larger the enforcement will be, but we're truly hoping for compliance.
And what would that enforcement look like? I mean, is that a ticket? What is it?
Well, we're starting with some of the businesses and the spaces that are trying to reopen here. And we're looking at businesses and making sure that they comply and being a partner with them. And, I think it's going to be like on larger events, we're going to look for compliance. But again, we're not going after that single person that's out there doing their own thing and trying to have the proper social distance. We just want to make sure that as we reopen in these final phases, that we're doing things correctly and safely.
And I think another important question, because this came up when Milwaukee County was saying you had to wear a mask in county buildings, was for people who maybe can't afford it, they don't have access to a mask. How would you handle those situations?
Yes, we want to have access for everyone to have the masks that they need and all the protective gear so that we can have a little bit more independence in these times. So in our drafting of our legislation, we're looking at creating a mask hotline. We're looking at expending city resources in order to get people the masks that they need and connect them. Again, the little bit of public dollars that might go into a mask could actually save lives and save money. We have many partners, private, that have helped with mask assembly. We think we can do it if we work together, but definitely we want to have a safe mask in the hands of every Milwaukeean. Wouldn't that be a safe, great place to live?
Well, this is definitely something we will follow up on. So thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Coming up, so how does this work?
The floor moves up.
I'll take you inside the Yerkes Observatory, where new owners are planning to reopen and restore the historic site.